Welcome, everyone. Hello, my name is Courtney. I am one of the teen librarians at the Addison Public Library, and we are not in the Addison Public Library at the moment. We are rather somewhere different. So please explain.
I'm Susan English. I am the museum coordinator for the Village of Addison, and we are sitting inside the Addison Historical Museum,
Yes.
which is located on Army Trail Boulevard, just across the street from
was-
the back of the library.
It was a short walk, which on a cold day, that's what you want.
I
so-
made her walk across the street, yes.
Oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having. We are here for a particularly special anniversary, aren't we?
I think everybody is aware that the United States is going to be 250 years old next year. If you're not, where have you been? Get on the program. And then you might know that Route 66 is going to be 100 years old next year. But there's another federal highway, like all the federal highways in our country, that will be 100 years old next year. And it goes right through Addison. Do you know what it is?
I think I know.
Okay.
Simply because that's why I'm here. So that is the historic Highway 20.
Yeah, we know it as Lake Street.
We do.
I think that's part of the problem is that Lake Street has so many, or has had in its history, so many different names.
Oh, sure.
Whereas Route 66 is always Route 66.
It's pretty distinct. It also has its own song.
Well, yeah, and it has Hollywood too.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
mhm.
But like 20 has a lot though. Like even just looking up a little bit more about like Highway 20, there's a lot within that span of space.
Well, definitely. It is the longest U.S. federal highway.
Yeah.
It goes from Massachusetts, right in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to Newport, Oregon.
Right. So
And it's
quite a
over
distance.
3,300 miles. So it's, I mean, if you want to do it, you can drive the whole cross-country United States.
Yeah, I think I found a little thing where it was like, here's a bunch of stops that you could take, here's a road trip thing. And they kind of estimated about 2 weeks of a drive.
Wow.
I think they're also accounting stopping.
I would think you would want to stop. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely so.
There's a lot along the way. So I think we'll probably talk a bit about, Highway 20 in general, but also I think a lot about in Lake Street and Addison, yeah?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so...
Because Lake Street is really our main thoroughfare.
It is, yeah. It is the main street that goes through. That's where you get off of the highway, depending on which one you go up from. Like, it's highway to highway, that's Lake Street.
Yeah, all the new highways that are around us weren't here back in the day.
Yeah, not the 20s, the
Yeah.
90 ones.
Yeah.
Like, those sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, Route 20 originally was a Native American trail.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
So that's kind of where it gets its origin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the roads in our area, which are not straight or perpendicular, that go at a slant, are probably date to being Native American trails back in
Right.
the day.
Yeah, I know that Army Trail Road has a fairly similar story in that, and those intersect. Very right there.
right outside
Right
our
there.
door. Yeah.
So,
And then in the 1830s, it became a stagecoach line
right.
from Chicago to Galena,
Mm-hmm.
because there was iron ore out in Galena, and there was trade from Chicago to Galena.
Sure.
And so actually one of the first things in Addison, before Addison was incorporated as a village, there was an inn along the way where they would stop and rest the horses,
Right.
and you could get something to eat, maybe spend the night, and
Yeah.
then continue your journey on, because you didn't do it like in a couple
was
hours like you can,
much
today.
slower.
Much slower
Much slower.
pace back in those
Mhm.
days.
And 20, you can still take that up to Galena. As
Yes,
well.
you can still, it's been rerouted around Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It used to go right by the lake
Right.
and then out, northwest to Elmhurst, Addison,
Yeah.
Bartlett, and Elgin, and then, further points west.
Mm-hmm.
Now it kind of skirts around Chicago through the south
Yes, it does.
west suburbs, up,
And then
and then it connects up in the Elmhurst area
Right.
and out. So there has been some, rerouting of the route itself over time.
I have noticed that as well. I did the really nerdy thing, and I was like, I'm gonna look at the map really close and like travel it along. And it does. It's just like, oh, there's a city. Nope. Like just avoids all major cities. But you do skirt around them. So you're getting still like it's really easy to like pop off and go into a major city if you wanted to. Or, any sorts of towns that it goes through too. So
Yeah, we're one of the few towns that it actually goes through
yeah.
the middle of our town.
Yeah, square through the center of it.
Yes.
Which is quite fun. I'd say it's a nice road.
Yeah. Well, Lake Street wasn't paved until 1923.
I did see that. That was interesting.
So I have pictures in our collection that show it as a dirt road with horse and buggies.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you traversed it, and it was an all-day trip to get down to Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it was 1923, right?
1923, it finally got paved because, automobiles start coming in the teens.
Right.
And, there were complaints from the, it really caught on quick, the auto craze,
Right, yeah.
And people were complaining, the dust that was brought up by the tires and that sort of thing.
Well,
so,
sure, and it also
So it
wreaked
needed
havoc.
improvement.
Yeah.
It needed improvement.
And cars didn't have good suspension then?
Definitely not like we have today. If you think today's rough roads,
Significantly better.
yeah.
than
And if you
options
had any
before.
rain, you get mired in the mud.
Oh, no kidding. That's true.
Yeah.
All
And the
right.
wagon wheels would get stuck
Right.
in the ruts in the mud. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the road would, because of all of the travel, the compression, the roads would have those wheel ruts.
Yes.
So-
Sink.
Uh-huh. So you said you had some pictures. Do you have any here?
This is in front of the business corner of Addison. And so they're going in front of the Marquardt store and the Hoover Meat Market in a horse and buggy
Wow.
at that time.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
And before it is paved.
That road looks so much wider. But
It does, but I think it's because the wagon is smaller.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes so much
than
sense.
the vehicles that we
Yeah.
are driving,
There's
today.
also significantly less buildings than nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Lake Street back in the day was a combination of houses and businesses. Today it's mostly businesses.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
here's
the residential is a little bit further.
I have a
in.
postcard here from 1915 that
Oh,
shows
fun.
Addison, Lake Street east of Addison Road looking east.
That's cool. Yeah, there's not a lot.
So there's some businesses, but there are also some houses along the route.
The electric lines are really fun.
Well, electricity comes into Addison in the teens. And that was a big improvement,
Oh, sure.
for for the town
Yeah.
and such. Also, they got sidewalks, and here's a
Ooh.
picture from a postcard showing the sidewalk along.
We've gone
Lake
fancy.
Street.
Look at that. Places to walk.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of funny too now that I've mentioned like the street or the electric poles. They're just like dead in the center of the picture.
well, they were practical. It was
They
for
were.
a practical purpose. This is another view looking to the northwest from Lake and Addison Road.
Oh, that's really cool. So this is also when it was dirt.
Yeah, that's in the early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before it was paved.
There we go. Whoop. Fallen.
Yeah.
Fixed it. Sweet deal. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah, so unfortunately, what happened in the 1970s, the village decided, since that's our main corridor, when people drive through Addison, that's what they see.
yeah.
By that time, some of the older buildings started to be in disrepair,
Yes.
and they didn't like what message it was sending to the person who was just driving through.
Sure.
So they moved houses to other locations. or they tore them down
Right. Yeah.
because they wanted more businesses. But I have some more pictures. This is probably from the 40s. I think I have shows the old water tower.
Oh, fun.
But again, when there were houses along
There's the little tower
the
right
street.
there.
And then this is probably from the
Oh, that's a
50s.
good one of the tower. Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, there's.
One of the oldest businesses we have in that section of town that's still there is Croggy's gas station.
I was gonna ask, is that what that is right there?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is still there.
that's still there from
I get my gas there.
1959. Yeah.
Some days when my tank is very low. But yeah, it is there. It is on Lake Street. Yeah, just before you, it's over that way.
Yeah, and I think we have
And we have
some more pictures.
we have someone of the Craigie family who works at the library too. So this is looking east, I believe it says.
Yeah.
Neat.
So, yeah, so it's always been, our kind of, so then that's when the village just, decided that they wanted to have businesses. And
When about was that?
in the 1970s,
Okay.
that's kind of when urban renewal is a thing in different communities
Yeah.
across the nation.
When was that in relation to like the reservoir being built? Well,
the reservoir was later because
of all the flooding
there was,
and things.
yeah, Salt Creek from day one has flooded. We have
Salt
pictures.
Creek.
We could do another video on all the flooding we've had in this
Oh
town.
my god! And
But the big flood was in 1987.
that was it. Okay.
That was the mother of all floods.
Yeah.
And after that, FEMA said, Louis' Restaurant, you cannot rebuild.
right. Well, they had also taken a massive amount of damage from that.
Well, they took it as a point of pride. Apparently, you went into the restaurant and then they had the high water marks.
Fair.
And they were proud that they survived all those different floods. And I don't think they would have closed unless,
probably not.
they forced them to do so.
Yeah, but FEMA came in and bought the land, and then
Right.
gave it to Addison.
Right, and with the proviso that Addison would institute some improvements with the reservoirs and then a pump station
Right.
further north up on
Yeah.
on the creek. This is a 50s view of the section of Lake Street between Addison Road and east of it. If you have ever heard of the Pink Pony, that was a restaurant bar in town that was very popular among the locals back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
fun.
So.
Cool. I love these old cars.
Well, they weren't old at the time. This
That's
was
true.
like,
It's true. Yeah.
Now you'll see them at those custom car shows that they have every so often.
Which are very fun to go to.
Right, as you go through, town and such. And of course, Village Hall has, since 1960, has had a presence on Lake Street. We were in the old Kinderheim building. Originally, that was the municipal building. And then later on, of course, that was torn down in 1999 and they built the current Village Hall.
So was it on the same location?
Slightly, this building, Village Hall, is slightly to the east
Okay.
because when they were building it, they still were working out of the old building. So,
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're
So
not the
is-
same footprint exactly.
So is that kind of where like the fountain circle turnaround is?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, and from that is where like Friendship Plaza kind of opened.
Well, yeah. Then when they were developing the new Village Hall and
Right.
the police department wing, they needed a name to call this.
Yes.
And they already had the old library was where District 88 is.
Yes, which is just across the parking lot from the current library.
Yeah. So they came up with Friendship Plaza. Of course, friendship from the village's motto, Village of Friendship, is where they got friendship.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
So, all right. fun. Well, these little things that just go around.
Yeah, yeah. Green Meadow Shopping Center on the north side of Lake Street has been there since 1958.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
That was our first shopping center
That's exciting.
in Addison
Yeah,
back
I
in the
think
day.
I saw something where it was like that was done to kind of help locals be able to shop more locally.
Well, yeah, they were building Lulo. He was building a little subdivision to the north of there,
Mm-hmm.
but to attract people to buy his houses,
You need something to
you need
do.
something close to go and buy your food
Yeah.
or buy hardware or whatever. You want to have to travel a half hour away
Right. Yeah.
to get and of course there was no Amazon back in those days to
Totally
go click and have it sent to your front porch. You had to go get it.
I know.
Yeah, so
the good old days.
And such. But that was a big thing, getting a shopping center, a modern shopping center.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It'd
be a big draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
definitely.
there was still quite a lot of like farmland and everything.
Well, yeah, that was a former farm. I mean, they developed that from it. But yeah, if you looked at Addison in the 1940s and 50s, the population up to 1950 was 800 people.
Right.
Um,
And then it just exploded.
well, yeah, it's because subdivisions start to be developed, and then more people are moving in,
Mm-hmm.
and they're bringing families. So then they had to build more schools.
Right.
Between 1960 and 1970, the population quadrupled.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when all the building boom in District 4 happened in most of their schools, because
Right,
they
yeah.
had to have a place to put all these kids,
Yeah.
and teach them. Yeah.
And I imagine like having access to like Highway 20 is a really good boon to that too, because you have access to go either direction to
Right. It was
very
you were
places.
right. I mean, those people who had to work downtown
Mhm.
or
Just
work,
straight shot.
yeah, or
Mhm.
work other places. Yeah.
And there's a lot of really good towns like just dotted all the way through too. So
Mhm.
I think yeah, so I mean we have Elmhurst just right next door, which it shoots straight to.
Right, Elmhurst, and then it goes in, of course, now Bloomingdale.
Right.
Um,
And further and further and further.
yeah, Glendale Heights,
Uh-huh.
Bartlett.
Yeah.
We partnered with the Elmhurst Museum, the Bartlett Museum, and the Elgin Museum. We produced a Route 20 Centennial video. You can access that on our website, the village website, on the museum page, where we talk about the significance of Route 20 between our different communities.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll be
because-
sure to link that in our video
Yeah,
description too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of special that like one road, I mean, it's all roads have this thing, but it's kind of a cool thing to think of like there's a pathway that connects multiple communities, and because that pathway exists, those communities have been able to build and flourish. It's sort of like when you're looking at colonial locations, they usually go along like rivers or have access to water. It's part of why like Chicago exploded the way that it did. Is transportation access, but like water only goes so far. Then you kind of have to go like figure out your own way of going. And pathways like roads are the way it's done. So it's
Oh.
just interesting to think of like how it's spread out.
Well, yeah, and then it's spread out on the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was we were looking at like all the different things that you could do on Route 20.
Well, yeah, I mean, so yeah, your government services, you had your shopping. Millie's Pancake House has been there since 1958.
Yep.
So you could get your homemade waffles and pancakes that like grandma makes, get your fill of that. Where the Park District has their golf dome.
Yeah.
That used to be a sports center way back in the day, in the 70s,
Yeah.
60s, and 70s. It was Glory Mountain Sports.
Yeah, that was it.
There was a big slide. You could slide down the slide.
I saw that. What? Like they also had a Dogs and Suds.
Yeah, there was Dogs and Suds was a very important
Honestly.
presence
Yeah.
on Lake Street.
Like if you just want a good hot dog.
Yeah, well, a lot of businesses have come and gone.
Of course, it's naturally done.
on Lake Street, definitely so.
Yeah, but right now there is the golf dome.
Well, the Park District bought that property, so they have their Putter's Peak mini golf.
Right?
They have
Yeah.
the golf dome, and they have I think it's a par 3 course there
Mhm.
too, in that section
Yeah.
of Lake Street,
I did
Route
get a hole
20.
in one in that mini golf.
Oh,
It was the most ridiculous thing because I was not trying.
just by circumstance, huh?
I was actively doing something on my phone and I just like swung the club and it just like dink 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 sunk. I was
I'll take it.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was the most ridiculous thing. I did not deserve it in any way, shape, or form, but that is also how I only ever get holes in one. So, it's through ridiculousness. But yeah, that's a very fun place to go to. We see people there all the time when you drive through. It's also
Yeah.
kind of fun to drive by it and just be like, see it.
Yeah, and then the section of Lake Street from Lombard Road to Route 53, Rawwing Road,
Right.
that was redeveloped in the 1990s.
Okay.
So that's when like Marcus Cinema
Mhm.
came into town,
Very
which was
popular.
a big, big deal
It still is.
at the time.
Yeah.
There used to be actually a Kmart in the Centennial Plaza area. That
Oh,
was a
Kmart.
favored store back in the day, but
Because it was.
they had to
Kmart.
redevelop Centennial Plaza and then Marcus, and then they got the Hampton Inn in the early 2000s.
Right. Yeah.
Which was really, and then of course all the different eateries on, with Brunch Cafe,
There's lots.
Briki Cafe,
Yeah. Brunch Cafe is so popular.
I tell you, you go down there and you forget about all the traffic it generates down
Yeah.
at that end of town.
Like, it's wild. I
Yeah.
was like, middle of the week, they're busy all the time. There's not a time I've seen them where they're not busy. So,
Yeah.
congratulations, Brunch Cafe.
Yeah, yeah.
It's my brother's favorite breakfast place too. So, there you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot there. There's some really good food, lots of things to do, lots of shopping. Yeah, the Marcus Theater, they've got 20 theaters in there.
And then they added later on their IMAX thing, which even
Mhm.
expanded it, further.
Yeah, it's also like it's a fun landmark now too, because it's just like distinctly it has such a display to it.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to find. Okay, so you had sent me a bunch of information ahead of time of some things. What is this about a White Sox stadium?
Oh, back in the 1980s, the White Sox were looking for a new home,
Okay.
and they found some property by Lake and Swift Road where Hamilton Partners is. It's an
Sure.
industrial area today.
Yes.
And that's where they wanted to put their White Sox stadium.
Interesting.
This is before 355 was built.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
finished.
Very distinctly different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the mayor at the time, Tony Rosado, was very much in favor of it, and so they worked with the White Sox organization for a couple years on it. Finally, they went to referendum on it, and it lost by about 30 or so votes.
Wow.
People were afraid of the traffic it was going to bring to
Very
Addison.
fair. Very
Yeah.
fair. I think that many of the same conversations are happening right now with like the Bears Stadium, in like Arlington Heights, Rolling Meadows area.
Yeah.
There's people are just talking about it nonstop because it affects so very much, from traffic to schools and whatnot. But that is a very close.
Yeah, it was close. So then that's when they decided to go the other way and redevelop downtown. So
Sure.
instead, so we could have been the home of the White Sox,
Could have been.
but for a few votes in the wrong or right, depending
to
on whether
say?
you're a White Sox fan or not.
It's a very
know.
different Addison in that timeline.
Right. So now it's an industrial area. It's where Pampered Chef has their headquarters.
Yep. Big
and-
building.
and
That one.
yeah. So when you pass over 355 on your left, you'll see some of these industrial buildings before
Yeah.
you get to the nudies.
Very
Those are
true.
that's the area that we're talking about.
Right. Okay. Now I've got that. in
And
my
then
head.
just a little bit further down the street was the old amusement park,
yeah, Adventureland.
Adventureland. Yes. Yeah, that was a landmark in Addison from 1961 to 1977.
Yeah.
It was first called Storybook Gardens. It was geared for the kiddies.
Sure.
One remnant from that days is if you go further west on 20 today, think it's Hanover Park.
Okay.
There is a mini golf on your left as you're going
Oh.
west,
Okay.
and there's a lime green big shoe.
Okay.
That is the old mother and her shoe.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's from Storybook Gardens.
That's fun.
So that it's still part of Storybook Gardens still exists here in the suburbs.
That's very fun.
Yeah, so you can see that on your way. But yeah, then what Adventureland did is they wanted to get the teen crowd.
Yes.
So what they instituted was one price, and you got on all the rides.
Oh.
They were one of the first amusement parks to do that.
Lovely.
And after Riverview closed in Chicago, they
Mhm.
were the largest amusement park in Illinois.
Right, which is something to say.
And then people say, well, why isn't it still here? And it's like, great America.
Yeah, pretty
Unfortunately,
much.
yeah.
And I mean, you've got like Santa's Village and whatnot, but even then,
Yeah.
like, I think they kind of cater to very different things.
Now, technically, Adventureland was not in Addison, but when they did all of their advertising in
Right.
the Chicago Tribune, they used Addison as the address
Right.
for promoting the
Yeah.
park.
I think it was in unincorporated Bloomingdale.
Yeah.
Which
mhm.
close enough.
Well, some people get to
Some
be
people.
very specific, and
Which is
will
fair.
call us out on that, Courtney. So we do know that technically it wasn't in the village
Technically.
limits.
Yeah.
And
But
such.
it did have an effect.
So we will be celebrating Route 20's anniversary this year. If you
Yeah.
come to the museum, you can get a free bookmark,
Oh, cute.
and then the design of that will be on banners
Uh-huh.
that will be put up along Route 20, Lake Street.
That's fun. There
later
is
this
it that
year.
one that's over there?
Yeah, I have one in the
Yeah.
back by our display on Route 20,
Yeah.
a sample banner.
That's really cool.
And then we had these commissioned. We are selling these at the museum,
Oh, I
but you
love
can get
it.
your own Route 20 magnet
Yeah.
to help promote your town.
Little magnet there.
Um,
Those are cool. They look
as
great.
well. Yeah, there's a company in Missouri that does these 3D magnets. I had them do the museum magnet a year ago,
Nice.
and I had them do, because you can find Route 66.
Of course.
Of course, already done, but Route
They're
20,
only a
no.
little famous.
So these are custom. These are custom.
Yeah.
And then we're hoping to do some programming related in the fall
Yeah.
on Route 20 to kind of let people know.
Yeah.
But we have this exhibit here in the museum, which is a permanent exhibit. But we also
Yes.
have a temporary exhibit in the rotunda
I did see that.
at Village Hall.
Yeah.
And
That's how we got talking about this.
yeah,
I
and
caught you.
that one over there is a smaller exhibit, just to whet your appetite to come
Yes.
over
Yeah.
to this exhibit.
And
over
I'll
here.
post up some photos.
Mm-hmm.
Probably now.
Yeah, and also if people want to see more pictures of Route 20 or Lake Street, they can go on our online photo database
Uh-huh.
at our website, and they can type in Lake Street.
Mm-hmm.
Is probably the best thing to type in this keyword search.
Okay.
And then they can just at their leisure go through all of the photos
Yeah.
that we have on Lake Street.
Which is fun. Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
So
Really cool things. And it's very fun. Yeah, if you can kind of see, you're only getting a very, very tiny snapshot of this building and what is inside of it. There are quite a lot of things to see.
oh
So-
yeah, they can come visit me. I'm open Wednesday through Friday
Okay.
from 11 to 4. And starting in March, we will have our Saturday hours resume, which is the second Saturday of the month
Lovely.
from
Okay.
noon to 4.
Sure.
And then, of course, during the summer, we're always open every Thursday night for
That's
Rock and
right.
Wheels
Yeah,
from 6 to 8 p.m. in the evening.
possibly a great time to come.
Well, that's when we get a lot of people because they come for the
Oh, yeah.
the food, the music,
Yeah.
and then to kill off some time in between, they come over to visit me.
Yeah. And also, like, it can get kind of buggy outside.
Yeah, we're air conditioned and we have a
Yeah.
bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so those are our two selling points.
We
yeah.
we at the library also get quite a lot of traffic these days too.
So you understand the
We
rock and wheel
do.
effect.
We do.
Mm.
But yeah, get some come to the library, find some good books, spend some time just hanging out. By that time, hopefully our renovation will be if not finished, very close to it. So that's the goal.
Good.
We will see. But the second floor is pretty much almost done. There's just like tiny details that are being finished up at that point
It's
on the
always
second
the
floor.
tiny details.
Oh, they'll get you every time.
Mm.
But yeah, currently the major renovation aspects of things are going on through the first floor. So it's going to be a little bit weird walking into the building for a little bit longer. But hopefully during the summer will be normal. So see our brand new library. Yeah, either do that or come in here and say hi.
Yeah, because we're a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, quite literally. It's just like I can see where it would be right there. It's right there through that window. So either way, it depends on which way you stand. So do you have anything else that's particularly interesting that you'd like to show
Well,
off?
I didn't show this earlier, but this is a copy of the Greater Chicago Magazine from 1930.
Okay.
And what I think is they featured Addison in the edition, and it shows Lake Street, of course.
Yeah.
St. Charles Road is now, of course, Army Trail Road.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. So here is Army Trail Road, St. Charles Road, and then that one's Lake Street, and there's Addison down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
And in this edition, they talk about Route 20, Lake Street, and they
Cool.
call it a super highway.
Haha.
And they said it has the finest macadam.
I looked that up. Yeah, a macadam road.
Yes.
So because I was just like, what is that? So it's from what I found, it is a way to like build a road and construct a road, which is like layers and layers of coarse rock or crushed stone, and then it's compacted even further, and sort of like the stone dust from its compacting kind of makes that binding agent. And then you can pave over it too, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So what I also found, like, that has a long history too, because that was invented by a Scottish man.
Oh, really?
So John Loudon McAdam, which is why
Well,
it's McAdam
I guess
Road.
that's where it gets its name.
It is.
Yeah.
So his name is McAdam, but like the terminology is MAC. ADA, so it's like phonetically said.
Okay.
I also came across the word macadamized, and I thought that was amazing. So he figured it out like early 1800s, that style of construction, and then it just kind of like worked and built and what have you.
Wow.
So yeah. But one of the things too is that like he specifically started his roads level. Shocking. That you want level roads. And then he also factored in like watershed as well.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, little weird rabbit hole I went down yesterday because I was just like, what's that? What's a macadam highway? So we had one of them. And apparently we had the finest of macadam highways.
Yeah, they just said it, so this is like 4 years after Route 20, officially the road became Route 20.
Right.
So they're already touting it as the way to travel through this area.
Yeah.
Which I think is fascinating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fun.
Yeah. And then a lot of the information on the background of our highway system I got from this particular book.
Ooh, it's a chunker.
It's a big book.
It's a biggin' book.
But it's our federal government, our Department of Transportation. It's a history of our road system in the United States. And if you have the inclination, it's all here in black and white and actually photographs as well.
It does. It has quite a lot in here.
Yes.
Which a book that thick, this is a text.
It is the text on our roadway system here,
Yeah.
America's Highways. 1776 to 1976. I guess it was one of those bicentennial projects.
That would make sense. Yeah, you also pointed out that this originally was from the Addison Public Library.
Yeah, some of the items in our collection came over to the museum. Yeah.
Yeah, but now it belongs and it lives here.
See, new life and a new home.
It doesn't get wasted at all.
And it gets used. That's what the thing is. Things that you don't necessarily think, are going to be used. But then this had all the information of why the federal highway system needed to be created in 26, because they needed to have good system connecting interstate, the roads.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is before, all of the our highways from the 1950s, like the Kennedy and the Stevenson,
right.
and that stuff.
These Route 20 and 66 had to walk so that the other highways could run. Otherwise, what's the point? You start off with an idea and you see where that works out well, and then you have to make adjustments and see how you can make it even better. So yeah, that's a really fun thing to know. You also have the other book, which
Oh yeah, this is the Arcadia book,
Right.
along Illinois Historic Highway 20.
uh-huh.
So this looks at all the towns in Illinois. Michael Till is a gentleman. I think he's in his 90s. He lives up in Minnesota. He sent the museum a autographed copy
Which is so
of his
cool.
book when he found out that we were on Route 20 and we were trying to promote it. But he has collected stories, from, and a lot of this is imagery is postcards,
Oh yeah.
because postcards, in the early 20th century, that's how you corresponded with your
Yeah.
friends. You didn't write letters so much,
No.
but you would send them a postcard, and you could get a
Mhm.
picture postcard. I mean, a lot of the images I shared with you were originally postcards.
Yeah.
So you could send a picture of Lake Street, Addison, back in the day to your friend in Wheaton.
True, which is a
Type
far
of thing.
distance at that point.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely so. So
Well, so not only do you have that one, but so do we. The Addison Public Library, and you can check this one out. So we have a fair number of books that relate to that, or at least like some of the Arcadia books. Which that's a really good series of things. Like that's a great.
well, Arcadia is known for local history.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
you can get
yeah,
your-
many towns have their own books on from Arcadia.
Yeah, there's a lot there, which is quite fun, specifically like a small town that normally would just kind of get bypassed.
Mhm.
But that's a lot of really special local history. So it's nice to have it for sure. Shall we talk a bit about Highway 20 in general?
Oh, sure.
Why
Okay.
not? I don't know. So
Well, there is a historic U.S. Route 20 association. They're located in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So they're trying to raise the national profile of
Sure.
the road.
Yeah. I think I found their website.
Yeah, they're in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can gather, Iowa has done a really good job of marking Route 20,
Oh, interesting.
and also has many instances of the original roadway. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
things change and you don't have the original roadway, but
Right.
I guess in Iowa there are still areas where the original roadway exists.
That's cool to know.
So that's it. And originally the roadway did not go through Yellowstone Park.
Right, which it does now.
It does now, but originally it stopped on the east border of
Uh-huh.
the national park, and it picked up on the west side of the park.
Okay. Yeah. I
But
think it
later
looks
on,
like, just based off of a map, it looks like it's really the only like road that goes square through the center of it, but I could be totally wrong. I have no idea.
well, I don't know what map you were looking at, but as I
Just Google.
Yeah.
I was just zoom in. That's
Yeah.
all.
yeah.
So
It hasn't always been the longest, because before that there was another federal highway that was longer, but once it went through Yellowstone
oh,
Park,
interesting.
it became the longest.
Yeah. So talking
But you can
about-
go from, basically from one shore
Mhm.
to the other shore
Yeah.
along the route.
So talking about Yellowstone, we
Mhm.
have at the library a book called A Place Called Yellowstone by Randall K. Wilson. And this is specifically a history about the world's first national park, which is Yellowstone. So it's goes everywhere between controversy and conservation. So it's the story of how the park was developed and then all of the different trials and tribulations with getting it put together and all of their efforts and through the years and developments of it. So if you're kind of interested in learning a little bit more about Yellowstone while you drive through it on, Highway 20, you definitely can. There's also some pictures. So that's something that you could check out at the library too.
You're going to get us all reading along Route
Yeah,
20.
that's my job, you know.
Mm.
Well, or you can read while somebody else drives.
Or they could read to you while you're driving.
That's
yes.
true. So Highway 20, let's see, it's 3,365 miles long,
Mm-hmm.
which is wild that our country is even that big.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, it goes from Boston to Newport. So it starts at like very closely to nearby the Boston Hotel Buckminster, which is where the Black Sox scandal happened,
Oh.
apparently, based off of this thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not familiar with the Black Sox scandal, which I wasn't until like 2 days ago, because
Where have you been, Courtney?
I'm interested in the Paralympics. That's about it.
Oh, okay. So you're sports challenged is what you're telling
yes,
me. Okay.
indeed.
All right. Okay.
It is not my particular forte. I respect that people are passionate about it, even though I personally do not understand.
Okay.
But yeah, the Black Sox scandal, which was the 1919 World Series, basically the backroom deal to throw the series in terms for like betting purposes, I suppose.
Illegal betting.
Very. But that happened at the beginning of Route 20 at the hotel there. That's also like right where Fenway Park is. So you can start at Fenway Park.
Yeah, if you're a sports fan, you can start at Fenway.
You can start
and
at
then
Fenway.
come to Addison where we almost had a White Sox park.
You look, we're right there.
See the connections here we're building?
It's like all the way down. Yeah, there's lots. There's along Route 20, there's the Perkins School for the Blind in Watertown, Massachusetts as well, which I do know somebody who went there. There's also in Seneca Falls, New York. That is the birthplace of the women's rights movement, where Elizabeth Cady Stanton, as well as other very brave women, took it to task.
Stood up for their rights.
That's right. So there, and literally it is on 20. It is on Route 20. There's the Women's Rights National Historical Park that you can kind of see there. What other wild things I was like looking through? If you are a gearhead, so if you really like your cars, the birthplace of Ransom E. Olds, the founder of Oldsmobile, he was born in Geneva, Ohio. His home is still there, but it is currently a auto parts store.
Well, that's appropriate. Auto.
I know. Not too bad. You can also see the very first traffic signal system. That is in Cleveland, Ohio, on Euclid Avenue and East 105th Street. So that's like right along the line. And apparently at the time, that was 1914 is when they installed it.
Wow.
Right? Before it was just chaos.
Yeah, you took your life in your hands behind the wheel.
You sure did. And I don't think they had seat belts yet. No, that's a
but they did have
recent
early. They did have goggles because of the dust coming up.
Yeah,
and women drivers, had those long coats called dusters,
right? And we had gloves. Very fancy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the original system consisted of red and green lights that were operated by an officer that was sitting in a little booth in the middle of the intersection.
Oh, lucky assignment.
Oh, that's scary by itself. You're just in a little box, like. Yeah, so there's also in Oberlin, Ohio, there is the Oberlin College. So that was the first institute of higher learning in the United States to regularly admit female and Black students. Kudos. There's more that I then found a thing. So if you wanted to go like all the way across, you could go to the Boston National Park sites. You can go to the Springfield Armory National Historic Site. Then take a little visit to the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, just a side trip. Huh?
Just a side trip. It's right along that way. There's, as said, the Women's Rights National Historic Park. You can go to the James Garfield National Historic Site.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes.
The Indiana Dunes, which have been there plenty of time. There's also the Smokestacks and Silos National Historic area, I think. The Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail, Niobrara River.
I'm not
I'm not
familiar with
sure.
that. Mm-mm.
But then there's also the Agate Fossil area, and then the Grand Tetons, and Yellowstone National Park. Craters of the Moon National Monument, which I just found out existed, and I want to touch it. Like, that's just a cool area. And then Oregon Trail, National Historic Trail. So yeah, quite a bit away. Like I mentioned before, generally it's going to take you about 2 weeks of a drive if you're just like stopping going and doing your thing. The thing that I found was like about 2 weeks or more if you want to spend more time in places. Which that's how that
I could
that's how
see
that
it as a
works.
good summer trip.
Yeah,
You know what I
so
mean?
they actually recommended like the best times to go is between like mid-May and mid-October. So like a great
Yeah,
summer
I'm sure
trip.
some of those roadways west of us,
Yeah,
it gets a little brutal in the
can be.
in the
Yeah.
winter. I mean, it gets brutal here in the winter. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't really want to like
be out in the elements.
not per se. And it's getting into like you've got that's 2 mountain ranges. Like it's going from mountain to mountain. And you don't want to go through those in the winter.
But I do think it would give you the sense of the vastness of our country.
Huge.
We kind of forget because we're just so used to our
Yeah.
30 to 50 mile
Yeah.
radius that we kind of normally operate out of, you know?
Absolutely. And I took my mom, we went on a train trip from Chicago to Seattle on the Empire Builder train.
Mhm.
And that's 2 nights on a train. Like, and that goes faster than a car constantly. It doesn't stop. And even then that was staggering to see how big this country is. Driving it is wild. But it's absolutely a thing that you can do. Actually, I found a book called The Best Road Trips of USA.
Ah.
So this is in our travel section. Actually, the others were too. So this is Escapes on the Open Road. So it's 51 routes with maps. Highway 20 does show up a few times depending on where you're trying to go. So you'll have some little motivation to go into that way. But so if you're wanting to go for a road trip, it could be a shorter one. But why would you want to, honestly? So we have that one. And if you're like, but no, I want to walk. Well, good news. I have 60 hikes in under 60 minutes or within 60 minutes. And this is within 60 minutes of like the Chicago area. It includes like Wisconsin and North Indiana. So these are areas that there's a map in here where it shows. So from Chicago, 60 minutes of travel to get to all these various different like hiking areas and pathways and stuff, some of which are like right around the corner from here. So options for you. I also have a couple of books about Illinois history. One that I read in college, actually. So I had to read this guy. Can't remember much, but it was actually good. It was a while ago. So this is Richard J. Jensen's Illinois, A History. And then there is Roger Biles' Illinois, A History of the Land and Its People. So
Well, that reminds me, Route 20, one of its other names is the U.S. Grant Memorial Highway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The state dedicated it to our former president.
Right.
And then
Well,
just
20
last year,
Mhm.
well, I guess it was in 2024, so in December 24, before he went out of office, President Biden, he designated Route 20 as the National Medal of Honor Highway.
Oh,
So that's the newest moniker that it's gotten. Now that's from
Okay.
not just in Illinois,
Yeah.
that's from Boston all the way to Oregon.
well, that's neat.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting that
Yeah.
that came to pass.
Yeah. So U.S. Grant, president at
Yeah.
the time.
Well, of course, General Grant during the Civil War,
Right.
and then president of the country.
And so he lived
Galena.
in Galena, which you can go straight to. Really pretty place. And there's plenty of like historic museums
Yeah.
that you
But
can
there's
go
also
to.
recreation there too.
There is
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's also a very, very steep hill.
Where you're getting close to the Mississippi and all that.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Mhm.
There was a time where mom and I tried to climb that hill, and there's like, I think the museum's like on the top of it or
Oh
something,
man.
and you're just like, but we did it. We went there. It was a good time. So
You
yeah,
survived.
we
clearly enough.
survived, and it's a very cool place. Like, there's a lot of like shopping and
It's quaint.
lots-
I would
it's-
call it quaint.
yeah, it's quaint.
yeah.
I think when I was there, and this was ages ago, but it reminded me of like Disney like towns where they make it feel very small town and like very
Small town America.
yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
that's it. It is small town America, and you can get there. Start here at Addison, go on Lake, go west, don't get off, and you'll be there.
Yeah. Point your if you have one of those navigation tools.
Yeah.
Point west.
Get your get a compass.
Yeah, compass.
Or honestly, if you're where we are, turn left, go straight, and you'll get to Galena. So yeah, very fun. All right, anything else that you'd like to share or fun things?
No, I hope everybody enjoys this coming year. We have a lot of celebrations coming up.
Looking forward to it.
You know,
Yeah.
just remember there's history right in your backyard.
Sure is. I'm very grateful that we were able to find another thing to be able to talk about. Maybe next we can talk about the flooding. Who knows?
Well, that's an unfortunate part of
It
our
is.
history here, but it's common to many areas, unfortunately.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Salt Creek.
It has good points and bad points.
You
know.
spit in that thing and it floods. But that's how it goes. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me and for joining me. Thank you for sharing all these amazing photos. And yeah, please stop by and see the exhibit that is over here. Get yourself a bookmark. Get yourself a magnet. Those are really cool. I'm really glad you got those. Yeah. And then stop by the public library. You can check out any of these books. We also have our travel section, which is right next to our elevator on the second floor. We'll be happy to help you find one.
And if you do take a trip, post it to social media. We'd like to see your trip along Route 20.
For true. Yeah. Find a little gem. Or take a picture of the big green shoe from Adventureland and share it with us. All right, everyone. You have a great day. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.